Here's today's top story. Intel Arc G3 Extreme performance benchmarks show clear disruption in the handled segment, offers double the battery at same performance as Z2 Extreme. Intel shared more details and performance benchmarks of its game-changing Arc G3 Extreme chip for gaming handhelds. Intel to lead the gaming handheld segment with its Arc G3 Extreme chip, over 40% faster on average and twice as efficient as AMD's Z2 Extreme before Computex. Intel announced its Arc G3 series, which is based on the same architectures as the Core Ultra Series 3 Panther Lake chips but designed with gaming handhelds in mind. This means that Intel isn't just taking laptop SKUs and putting them on handhelds. Instead, the Arc G3 is meticulously designed for low-power and high-performance handhelds. Arc G3 partner devices at the Intel Handheld Suite in Taipei. We had a hands-on with 3 Arc G3 gaming handhelds, all based on the top G3 Extreme SoC. These include the MSI Claw 8EX AI+, the One X Player 3, and the Acer Predator Atlas 8. There will be many more handhelds at launch with cost-effective G3 chips, so look forward to the full lineup in the coming months. There's a lot to talk about, so we will get straight to the benchmarks first. Intel's last gaming handheld SoC was the Core Ultra Series 2 Lunar Lake family. For this, Intel made some power tuning optimizations that made the chip viable for gaming handhelds, but it wasn't necessarily a pure handheld chip. With the Arc G3 series, that changes. In the first comparison, we have the Arc G3 Extreme 35W compared against the Core Ultra 7258V 30W, and the performance difference is massive. You are looking at a 44% average gain and over 50% gains in several titles. Death Stranding 2 saw an over 2x gain in performance, but that's mostly due to driver-level optimizations for the newer SE3 architecture. The SE2 iGPUs are still very capable, but the SE3 puts them in the dust. Generational leap, Intel Arc G3 Extreme versus Intel Core Ultra 7258V. Even when both chips are set to a 17W sustained power limit, the Arc G3 Extreme ends up 24% faster on average. That's quite impressive. Next up, Intel compares the Arc G3 Extreme against AMD's fastest handheld chip, the Z2 Extreme. With both chips running at 35W, the G3 Extreme edges out the Z2 Extreme by an average 42% faster gaming performance across a wide set of titles. More than a quarter of the games tested were running 50% faster on the G3 Extreme. High-power gaming, 35W sustained. When tuned to a lower power limit of 17W, the Arc G3 Extreme delivers 24% faster performance on average than the Z2 Extreme. The platforms used for these tests were the MSI Claw 8EX AI+, Arc G3 Extreme, and the Asus ROG Spox Ally X, Ryzen Z2 Extreme. At even lower power limits of 12W, the Extreme Intel Arc G3 delivers 37% faster performance on average versus the Extreme Ryzen Z2. Intel can maintain over 30 FPS across the various titles, whereas AMD's Z2 Extreme stumbles below 30 FPS. Low power playability, 12W sustained. The other advantage that Intel has over the Z2 Extreme is its much superior upscaling and frame-gen technologies. We all know how AMD's FSR4 and FSR 4.1 upscalers aren't currently available on RDNA 3.5 based iGPUs. Meanwhile, Intel has its latest XeSS 3 models supported by its iGPU, and even multi-frame gen support is available up to 4x modes. Intel's XeSS on Arc G3 Extreme drives better performance, delivering smoother and good frame pacing with FrameGen enabled, and then you add multi-frame gen, which adds 2x FPS boost for smoother performance, giving a superb gaming experience on handheld platforms. Multi-frame generation leadership, Cyberpunk 2077, 1080p high, and last in the benchmarks is Intel showcasing its performance efficiency with a 17W Arc G3 setup against a 35W AMD Z2 Extreme. The Arc G3 offers similar performance at half the power, leading to higher battery life. This means that users will get to play for longer periods of time on their devices, maintaining a smooth visual experience. Performance Efficiency Standard 17W versus 35W, Arc G3 and its various optimizations. Intel also disclosed the optimizations and changes it has made to make Arc G3 the perfect chip for the handheld segment. These include optimized I/O, new power management strategies, configurable TDPs, and deeper ecosystem engineering. Intelligent Bias Control version 3.5. Another crucial thing to note is that Intel is making use of just 2 P-cores instead of 4. The display engines are down from 3 to 2, and the Thunderbolt is down from 4 to 2. The chip has been cut this way to fit in the TDP window that is viable for making an efficient handheld SoC. And the 12-3 cores are still there because handhelds made for gaming are largely GPU-centric devices. There's also Intelligent Bias Control, which prioritizes GPU frequency while also having the ability to stabilize the power shifting between the CPU and the GPU. This solution was introduced on Lunar Lake since Intel discovered that both the CPU and the GPU were fighting for power. The CPU worked fast and went to sleep, whereas the GPU was doing processing work for longer durations, leaving the CPU with little available power headroom to work with. So here, the E-cores are prioritized first versus the P-cores because the latter consume more power. In Intelligent Bias Control version 3.5, which will be introduced with the Arc G3 series, a new feature called P-core parking will be introduced, which will turn off the P-cores entirely when running at 12W or lower. And since E-cores consume lower power, there's more power headroom available to the GPU. With IBC on, Arc G3 will see up to 31% performance improvement at 12W. Endurance Gaming Mode. The last update in terms of handheld optimizations is going to be Endurance Gaming, which will let users select a custom FPS limit, 30, 40, 60. The tech will do the frame pacing at hardware and use the SoC power controls to make everything run slower, leading to longer battery. This is essential since not everyone wants their games running at over 100 or 200 FPS. You can get a smoother and more playable experience at 60 FPS, too, and with endurance gaming enabled, you can see a massive increase in playtime. In Intel's own tests, the company shows almost 6 hours of game time in Forza Horizon 6 versus around 3 hours with the mode disabled. Pre-compiled shader distribution. Intel already has pre-compiled shaders support out in its latest Arc Game On drivers, and these will also be coming to the Arc G series SoCs. The driver will automatically download the pre-compiled shaders locally, leading to faster load times in many games. Users will be able to see a 3x boost in load times on average. Arc continues to be the spotlight of Intel's client segment with great hardware and software updates, and the Blue team is also working with the developer community around its Arc platform, with 3,000+ NDA early access game builds received and evaluated alongside 1,000+ titles that are already out that Intel has engaged with. Currently, 400+ games support XeSS Super Resolution, and Intel has been supporting developers by seeding them with Arc GPUs, 500+ shipped so far. Since the first Arc launch, Intel has supported 200+ games with Day 0 driver support, and there are also 100+ games with XeSS multi-frame generation out now. All of this goes to show the hard work put in by Intel around its Arc GPU platform. Intel had a rough start, but since Z2, the company has been rolling out some great hardware and software support, and it's the best it's ever been with Z3. Intel has committed to a long Z roadmap ahead, and with all the software work that is going on, Intel's Arc family is in safe hands, and we can't wait to see the Arc G3 series in action later this year. Follow WuckTech on Google to get more of our news coverage in your feeds. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe.